Today we're going to do a review of Poseidon's Kingdom. It's a Lamont Brothers game, just got re-released by Game Salute. Played it last night with the wife and the big three kids, and again tonight with the middle three kids. We'll show you how to play, and then we'll give you our thoughts on it. In Poseidon's Kingdom, we're all sea creatures. We've had our fellow creatures captured by the Kraken. We're trying to gather dice to get point totals here to free them, kind of like a poker hand a little bit. Total of 7, a low double, it's 3s, 2s, or 1s, a high double, 3 in a row, 3 of a kind, or 4, any 4 different dice. Once you get those dice, you can free your creatures. Once everyone's freed everyone, that'll trigger the end game scoring. And at that point, you'll be able to buy some of these hidden coral tiles. You can look at those throughout the game secretly, and then try to have enough pips on your dice left at the end to win them. To start the game, you'll take your 4 reef tiles, assuming we're playing a 4-player game. You can arrange them in any order you want to. It doesn't really matter. Well, it does matter. Throughout the game, you'll get to buy kind of tech tree tokens to build up your reef. We'll have them where they give you an extra movement, an extra spot where you can hold dice, extra movement, that's a spot where you can add more to the wave. You'll have an extra one where you can chomp more dice, which you can eat more dice on your turn. You can always do at least one thing of each on your turn. And how this works is you're going to have your little area of your reef, and once per turn, at the beginning of your turn, you can either put dice on the wave, which I'll show you in a second, or you can get a tech tree piece and build it up. It has to cross 2 different sections. It can't be on the same section. It can't hang over a section. And throughout the game, as they build up, now these are on level 2. If you can imagine that, now you can move 2 spaces or put 2 dice on a wave. If later in the game you had done this, now you can hold 2 dice in your reef. You can still only, even though there's 2 waves there, you can only put 2 on the wave. It's just the level of what you do. If you were to do this later and get one more of these and put it on top of that, that'd be a level 3 high on the wave, so you could put 3 on the wave. And that doesn't matter, it's just a space to hold a die. Had you done, you can always eat 1. This would allow you to munch 2, and if we're up here, that would allow you to eat 3 dice, even though you can only hold 2. You can hold 2 in your reef, and you could always eat 1 and use it immediately. And whatever dice you eat, you have to either be able to hold them or use them on that turn. For instance, if you were able to eat 3 with that thing we had out last time, you could try to get a 3 in a row that turn. And the difficulty of what you're getting, a 7 is easy to get, so it's only worth 3 points. And the first person to get the victory points gets the best. So 3, 2, 2, 1. A low double, 4, 3, 2. The best ones to get are the hardest. Any 4 different dice or 3 of a kind. You go from 8 to 6 to 4 to 2. The game starts out, each person will get 3 of their dice. You go around in turn order, and everybody will put 1 die out at a time. And then there'll be 3 neutral dice also that go out. So you can do this. Everybody will go around and take turns, 1, 1, 1, all the way around. Put the 3 neutral on. Once it's all set up, this isn't exactly how to do it, but we're doing it quick. That'll be like what it is. And then the wave will crash. Any that fly off of the board will come back up here. If it's crossing a wave, it goes to the one in front of it. If it flies off the board, it goes back up there. Now this will determine whoever has the highest number of pips showing, which would be green this time. They'll be the first player. So they'll start out here. Let's say we've got green down here in player order. So green will be at the top, and then yellow's following, so they'll skip 2 spaces here. Blue is next, so blue will be 2 spaces farther. And then orange is last, so orange will be here. What happens on this track is if you ever munch someone else's dice, you'll move around the track, and there's other things that move you around the track. Once you get over this last tentacle to here, you'll be able to free one of your people for free and take a peek at one of the corals. So on your turn, you can always do 3 things. You can either take a tile to build to your reef and just put it right on there. And if you don't do that, you can always take at least 1 die and add it to the wave. And if you get, you know, wave tokens, you can add more depending on your levels. You can always, you'll either take a tile or add dice. You do that. You move your creatures, and at the beginning you can always move at least 1. If you get these built up on higher levels, you can move 2 or 3 or whatever that entails. And there's a shark out here that's going to be eating your creatures. And if that happens, you'll get a graveyard tile, which will go onto your board, and it'll kill out of space so you can't ever put anything there again. And there's a way to mitigate that later in the game. But on your turn, either take a tile or add a die. And you can always move 1. So say green was first. So green could move 1 space here. And then green, you start out with 1 spot. So green could munch 1, eat 1 die. And if it's your color, it doesn't help anyone else, or a neutral die. If green was to eat yellow and put it on their player board, what would happen, they eat that, and then yellow would get to go forward 1 on the track. If they were here and she ate a yellow, they would hop over that person and land there. Or if she ate a blue, blue would fly her all the way around. So you kind of want to watch what you're eating and when. And after you eat your dice, and if she was able to eat 2 and like score a 7 right then, she could score it. And you would take, green would take her spot, her tile, and then add that to her, just off to the side. And she'd never be able to get that again because her creature would be free from there. You're kind of, they say you're getting food to get strength to beat the Kraken's tentacle that's holding your fellow sea creature there. Then after you do that, the shark moves based on where you are. So the octopus is here on the number 1 space, so the shark would move 1. If you ended up on a 2 space, the shark would move 1, 2. The shark moves in a figure 8. It starts out up here facing the beach, because you're kind of in the ocean here, beach down here. And as it hits the center, it crosses the figure 8. And if it ever crosses a neutral die that's just out there, printed on the board, it comes over here, 1 goes to the track. And then goes round and around. If the shark comes and eats you, you die. You get a token here. And then one of their relatives hears about the bad news and they come to investigate. And the shark's facing this way, say, they would both be dead. You can start behind the shark, or you can start on the other end of the board. So you're kind of trying to move your creatures, and you can cross up and down, or you can also go across like a shark does. You're wanting to stay out of its way, because once you get too many tokens on your board, you really can't do anything. Let's say we'd played for a while and we built up the wave some more. Let's pretend it's full and it's the end of my turn. If it's full, I'd move the shark. It's going to say it's completely full. You would crash the wave. And then at this point, you don't do it on the very first turn. You total up all your pips on your dice, and then you get bonuses based on the wave here. That's the only thing bad about the game. The wave's a little flopsies. If your total pips are, if you only have 3, you can add 1 die to the wave. 7, you can add 2. If you have a 12 plus, you can take a peek at the secret coral. You can also move 2 spaces around the Kraken and try to free him that way. If you have a 16, you can get rid of all of your graveyard tokens on your board and take a peek. A 19, you get to free one just for free. Free one of your creatures, and it goes in order. If this one's already gone, you can free this one. If those 2 are gone, you can free this one. And the 23, you get a dolphin. They have a dolphin in the game, and you keep it until the next wave crash, and then sharks will not affect you at all. So that's good to have, depending on how many graveyard tokens you have. And you pretty much just go round and around until someone has freed all of their creatures, and at that point it triggers the final round. You play one more round, eating your dice, crushing the wave if it happens, and at that point, in that last round, you can either continue to free creatures if you have them, or throughout the game you get to peek at these. At that point you can use your dice to buy them. Say you had a 5 and a 1 stored there, one in eating one, storing one, you could get the 6 tile. And these have special abilities. There are this one here. If you have no graveyard tokens, you get 3 bonus points. If you have any, you lose 1 per graveyard token. There's Poseidon's Trident, which will let you do any one of these tokens you want. Wave, this is total number of waves showing, not your level of waves, but each wave showing in your reef. The dice is just number of dice showing on your reef, and this one, the number of arrows showing on your reef. Pretty much just go around and around, then you total up all your victory points at the end, plus your special bonuses, and that's it. One thing I failed to mention is, like, if you had a 20, you could take number 19 or anything lower. You can get one thing, assuming you have more higher than 3, but you don't have to take the 19 if you'd rather have this. And also, once the wave crashes, the shark, say he is swimming this way, getting ready to, once the wave crashes, he's like, huh? He turns around, then he'll start swimming the other way. So sometimes you can plan out, like, shark's coming, he's coming, you know he's going to be here in a couple of turns, depending on where people move. The wave's almost full. You can plan on him. Sometimes, you know, he'll get there, and at the end of that turn, the wave crashes, he turns back around and starts. So he's just kind of lazily swimming through the ocean, eating all your guys, turning around, going back the other way whenever there's a wave crashing. You're pretty much just trying to stay out of his way as much as possible, gobble up all the dice you can you need to get your combos. We got one more wave break, and then Mason's going to go, and then we're going to do final scoring and see what happens.
Break the wave.
Woohoo! Yay! So now we add up all of our victory point tiles, and also the coral tiles from the Kraken.
No!
I've got Poseidon's Trident, which lets me get any bonus I want. And I will get the one with the Speedy Fins, which gets me 2 extra victory points. So I got 10.
Yay!
15. I got 17 points. Woo!
What's yours, babe? What's yours?
This was our first play. I think it took us about an hour and a half.
No, there's a little more.
About 2 hours.
I think
I have 27.
What?
Yeah,
That's 25.
What did you get?
Yay!
What'd you
I
have?
got 8, 10, 15, 17. What?
Woo!
So, what do you guys think of it? How would you rate it?
I liked it.
Look, thumbs up.
Feel it on my hand.
It's definitely not for little kids.
Not for little people.
But I think elementary school kids could play it. Like Remington, he's 8. He'll do fine.
Possibly.
But we're going to
It
play
took
with
us
him
a-
next, the middle 3. This is the
Where are you?
big 3. Big 3 and Mom are playing. We'll try the middle 3 next. The little 3, no.
No,
We don't
never.
get to play it.
No.
We just got to
We'll
keep them
just-
away so they don't lose the dice. But,
Throw stuff around.
Alright, we're on the final round with the middle 3. Remington triggered the end game. He's getting ready to do his last turn, and then it's game over. That's the way. It hasn't been too bad with the middles. It's still the same as
Friendly.
with the bigs. You got to remember every step every time.
Did you move the shark?
And move the shark.
Oh.
You got to eat your dice first.
Yeah, I'm gonna
This is
eat.
horrible movie making. You can spend 2 dice, or however many dice it takes, to buy
Here, 15.
one of the white coral and one of the black coral.
Yes.
And Paisley forgot which coral she looked at. You can peek at it through the game, and she ate the number 5, which is the one I really wanted.
Instead of number 6, which was Poseidon's Trident. which I got.
So I did a blind guess and got lucky with the Wave Rider and two waves. So we're gonna add up all our points that are showing,
I got 15.
and whatever bonus points we have at the end. 22. Rim has 22.
What did you have?
Now I forgot. 10,
24.
18, 21, 24. I have 26.
20, 19. Wait,
19.
sorry.
It's exciting television.
No, it's not. Because you're not entertained. 24.
24. Hey, I won!
Look at all the lights. I lost.
Alright,
Normal.
so what do y'all think of Poseidon's Kingdom? And look at the camera.
Fun. It's pretty fun.
What would you rate it?
8.
You get A? I'd say it's a solid B. I'd give it 8 out of 10. It's
That's what
fun.
I said 8, not 8.
8. Okay. So we're all about the same page. It's really interesting. It's fun to dump the wave. It's fun to
Which I never did.
dodge the shark. I got eaten a whole bunch. But
Every time we got eaten, I was the one that caused.
and playing with these guys was a lot different than with the big three. The big three and Mom, nobody helped each other eat each other's dice. Here, it was all sorts of wheeling and dealing. You eat my dice, I'll eat your dice, and zip, 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 zip. We whipped around the Kraken tracking pretty quick. And it took maybe an hour and a half for our first game. So there's a lot of interaction that way, and you could, help each other or not, depending on how it's going. But that's it. We had a fun time playing, and thanks for watching. One thing when we were playing, my wife said, why do we have a yellow clam like on the box and a orange starfish on the box, and it's kind of yellow when you're playing?
Nothing like the dice.
Yeah. So you got some bloodletter glaze from Citadel. Bada
bing, bada boom.
And you get some orange starfish. Ta-da! She likes that. So we're just going to do that
It
to
matches
the
the
other
dice.
two and be done.
Pretty pretty.
But bits in this game are great.
We do like the bit.